Welcome back to the channel Wisdom of Stoicism. Have you ever wondered how some people can walk into a room and instantly command respect without saying a single word? It's almost like they carry an invisible power, a silent strength that makes others pause, pay attention, and even feel a little intimidated. Now, imagine having that kind of presence. The kind that makes your enemies think twice before crossing you. The kind that makes people wonder, what's going on in his mind? Without you having to say anything at all. You see, true power isn't about being loud or aggressive. It's about control. It's about mastering your emotions, your energy, and your presence. And that's exactly what the ancient Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca believed. They knew that real strength is quiet, silent, unshaken, and that kind of strength makes people fear you in ways they can't even explain. In today's world, where everyone is trying to prove themselves by being louder, tougher, and more aggressive, there is something far more powerful about a man who doesn't need to prove anything at all. A man whose calm silence says it all. In this video, we'll explore how to make your enemies fear you without saying a single word. Using timeless Stoic strategies, you'll learn how to master your presence, control your emotions, and project an unshakable strength that will leave a lasting impact. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll know how to use silence as your greatest weapon. So, stay with me because the final strategy we'll cover is the one that will change how people see you forever. Let's begin. 1. The power of presence. When you walk into a room, how do people perceive you? The way you carry yourself, how you stand, how you hold your gaze. These silent signals communicate more about you than words ever could. The truth is, your presence speaks louder than anything you could say. It's the first thing people notice, and it's what they remember long after you leave. Think about this. Have you ever met someone who didn't need to speak much but still commanded attention? Maybe they didn't say a word, but their mere presence made everyone in the room stop and take notice. That's the power of body language, and it's one of the most important tools for making your enemies fear you. Standing tall, with your shoulders back and your head held high, shows the world that you are confident and unshaken. This simple posture, without saying anything, sends a message to everyone around you. They can see it, you're in control. You're someone who knows their worth and won't back down. And when people sense that kind of self-assurance, it has a profound impact on how they treat you. It's almost as if they know, deep down, that challenging you isn't worth the effort. Now, let's talk about your gaze. Eye contact. It sounds so simple, right? But the truth is, the way you look at someone can say a lot about how you feel about them and how much power you hold. In many situations, making direct, steady eye contact shows that you are unafraid, that you are confident in your own skin, and that you're not intimidated by anyone. It also lets people know that you're not easily distracted, that your focus is unwavering. And that focus is something your enemies will fear. They won't know what you're thinking, but they'll be unsettled by your calm, composed energy. A simple shift in how you hold your body and how you interact with the space around you can change the way others see you. But there's more. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to radiate an energy that keeps others at bay? It's almost as if they have an invisible shield around them. They're not brash or loud, yet no one dares to cross them. This is the power of a strong, controlled presence. When you walk into a room with quiet confidence, people instinctively respect you. They recognize that you aren't someone to be trifled with. There's an old saying, the quieter you become, the more you can hear. This isn't just about being physically quiet. It's about embracing stillness and control. When you choose to remain calm in the face of chaos, people take notice. They may not say anything, but they'll feel the power in your silence. And your enemies will fear you for it. They won't know what to expect from you because you're not giving anything away. And that fear of the unknown, it's one of the most powerful weapons you can wield. The best part is this isn't something you're born with. This is a skill that anyone can develop. It's about being aware of the signals you're sending out and choosing to own them. The next time you walk into a room, think about your presence. Stand tall. Hold your gaze. Don't rush. Let your silence be your weapon, and watch how it changes the way people perceive you. Because in the end, Your presence isn't just about being seen. It's about making people feel your strength without you ever having to say a word. And when your enemies feel that, they won't dare challenge you. 2. Master your emotions. In every confrontation, the first one to lose control loses. And that's where the power lies. It's not in shouting or throwing punches, but in staying calm when everyone else is losing their heads. Stoicism teaches us that emotions, if left unchecked, can be the most dangerous thing to your power. When you let anger, fear, or frustration control you, you're no longer in charge. But when you stay calm, you create a wall of strength that no one can break. Now, let's talk about the first secret: respond, don't react. We've all been there, right? Someone insults you, pushes your buttons, or tries to get under your skin. What's your instinct? To fire back. To show them that you're not weak, that you won't let them walk all over you. But here's the thing. Reacting to provocation only weakens you. It makes you look like you've lost control. Imagine this: you're in a heated conversation, and someone insults you. Your heart starts racing, your fists clench, and the words start coming out fast. But in that moment, you've already lost. The Stoics would say, don't react, respond. Take a moment, breathe, count to 5 in your head. By doing this, you don't let your emotions take over. You take control. And that brief pause before you speak tells your enemy more than words ever could. It shows that you're unshaken, that you're stronger than their petty attempts to provoke you. Let's put this into a real-life example. Imagine you're at work, and your boss or a colleague says something rude to you. Everyone around is expecting you to react. They want to see you get mad, to start defending yourself, maybe even shout back. But what happens when you don't? You remain calm. You nod. You keep your voice steady. And just like that, the power shifts. Because now, the people around you know something they didn't before. You're not easily shaken. You're the one who's in control. And that silence is terrifying. The next strategy is embrace the pause. Silence, my friends, is one of the most powerful weapons you can wield. In every situation where someone is trying to provoke you, pause before responding. Let them wait for your words. Let the tension build. Why? Because in that pause, in that moment of stillness, you make the other person uncomfortable. They don't know what you're thinking. And the unknown, that's what makes people afraid. Imagine walking into a room and seeing someone who's completely calm, who just listens, doesn't speak a word, and lets everything sink in. You're unsure of what they're going to do or say, and that makes you second-guess everything you think you know about them. In the heat of a conflict, everyone's looking for an answer, a reaction. But if you don't give it to them right away, you confuse them. You throw them off balance. They might not even know why, but the longer you stay quiet, the more powerful you become in that moment. When you master this, you begin to understand something that few people ever will. Your ability to remain silent and composed in a heated moment is what will make people around you fear you. By staying calm, you're showing the world that you cannot be controlled. Not by insults, not by anger, and not by anyone else's expectations. You are the one who holds the reins of your own emotions. So, the next time you're faced with someone trying to provoke you, remember this. Control your emotions, stay composed, and embrace the pause. It's in those moments of silence where you'll find your true strength. 3. Control your energy. Energy is everything. It's how you move through the world. It's how people feel when they're around you. And if you can control your energy, you can control how others perceive you. That's a secret weapon of the Stoics that many people miss. The power to control your energy. It's not about being loud or overly dramatic. It's about being calm, composed, and knowing exactly what to do in every situation. Let's break this down. Have you ever been in a room where one person's presence just filled the entire space? Not because they were the loudest or the most forceful, but because they radiated a calm confidence? That's the kind of energy we're talking about. It's the energy that doesn't need words to be noticed. It's the kind of energy that makes people respect you without you having to prove anything. Now, how do you control that energy? The first step is speaking less and listening more. Too many people think they need to talk constantly to be noticed or respected. But the truth is, the less you say, the more powerful your words become. Think about it. When you speak, people are listening for the content, yes, but they're also listening for the emotion behind your words. And if you're speaking all the time, those emotions get diluted. Instead, say less and make each word count. When you hold back and choose when to speak, people start to listen to you differently. They start to value what you have to say because they know it's not just a string of empty words. It's deliberate, it's purposeful, it's powerful. And then there's the power of silence. Stoics understood that silence wasn't weakness. It was strength. When you're in a situation where others are panicking or fighting to get attention, your silence will be like a rock in a storm. It's calm. It's unshakable. It's the kind of energy that forces others to pay attention. Not because you're speaking, but because you're so completely in control of yourself. Think about it. When was the last time you saw someone who was completely still and calm in the face of chaos? That person likely exudes strength, even though they haven't said a word. You can do this too. You just have to embrace stillness, especially in moments of tension or stress. When others are agitated, stay calm. When others are unsure, stay confident. Your ability to remain grounded will make your enemies second-guess themselves. This is where the energy of focus comes into play. When you master your attention, you master your energy. Think about a laser beam, focused, intense, and capable of cutting through anything in its path. If you allow your mind to wander, if you're constantly reacting to the noise around you, then you're scattering your energy, making yourself weak. But if you focus, if you direct all of your energy on the task at hand or simply on being present, you'll send out a silent but powerful message. I'm in control. Nothing is distracting me. Nothing can shake me. The key here is intentionality. When you direct your energy with purpose, people will notice it. The Stoics were experts at this. They understood that to command respect, to truly have power, you must control where you place your focus, where you direct your energy. It's not about being everywhere at once. It's about being fully present wherever you are. So, the next time you walk into a room, don't be the person scrambling for attention. Instead, be the person who walks in calmly, quietly, but with undeniable strength. Let your presence speak for you. Let your energy command respect. Because when you control your energy, you make everyone around you feel it. And that, my friend, is how you begin to shape the world around you without saying a word. 4. Develop a mysterious aura. What people don't know about you is often what they fear the most. Mysteriousness has an incredible power. When you're unpredictable, when you're hard to read, you create an aura of strength. People will start to wonder, what's going on in their mind? What are they planning? And that uncertainty, it scares them. The most powerful people in history, the ones who commanded respect and fear, were often the ones who revealed the least about themselves. Think about it. We're drawn to mystery. We want to know more, but when we can't, that's when our minds start to fill in the blanks. And more often than not, those blanks are filled with fear. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic emperor, understood this principle. He didn't waste time explaining himself. Instead, he let his actions speak louder than words. He didn't need to tell people what he was thinking because they could see it in the way he carried himself, in the way he made decisions, and in the way he handled challenges. And that's what made him so powerful. His mystery made him unpredictable, and unpredictability made people fear him. So how can you apply this to your own life? Start by never revealing everything about yourself. Not every goal, not every thought, not every plan. Keep some things to yourself. Let people wonder about you. The less they know, the more they'll fear what you might do next. This doesn't mean you should become deceptive or dishonest. It's about being selective with what you share and understanding the value of your privacy. Not everyone needs to know your next move. In fact, the less people know about you, the more they will respect your space. Silence, in this case, is golden. Imagine a situation where you're in a room with a group of people. Maybe you're in a meeting or just hanging out with friends. Now picture this, you don't say much. You don't volunteer personal details. You don't share your thoughts too freely. You simply observe, listen, and keep your emotions in check. You don't need to make a statement to be heard. Your calm presence, the way you hold yourself, will speak volumes. You don't have to be the loudest or the most outgoing person in the room. In fact, sometimes the loudest voices are the most easily ignored. The quiet, composed individual, the one who doesn't try too hard to be seen or heard, commands more respect than anyone else. Now, think about the people in your life who you admire, the ones who have authority without saying much. Maybe it's a boss, a mentor, or even a family member. Notice how they carry themselves. They don't need to shout to get attention. Their very presence demands it. That's the power of mystery. Being mysterious also means you don't reveal all your emotions. You don't let people see every part of you. Not every feeling, not every thought, not every action needs to be laid out on the table. People are drawn to those who are emotionally controlled, and the less you reveal, the more they'll wonder. And the best part? Mystery doesn't require you to say anything. It's not about being cold or unapproachable. It's about being someone who doesn't overshare, someone who lets their actions, their behavior, and their strength do the talking. When you master the art of being mysterious, you don't just gain respect. You instill fear in those who don't understand you. They'll never know what you're going to do next, and that uncertainty will keep them on edge. And that, my friends, is how you make your enemies fear you without saying a word. 5. Master the art of detachment. The Stoics believed that attachment breeds weakness. Detachment breeds strength. It might sound strange at first, but think about it. When you're attached to something, whether it's a person, an outcome, or a possession, your peace of mind depends on that thing. And if that thing is threatened or taken away, it can shatter your sense of control. But when you practice detachment, you break free from this cycle. You no longer rely on external factors for your happiness or your power. Let me ask you this. How often have you felt frustrated because something didn't go your way? Maybe you were depending on someone to act a certain way, or you had expectations that weren't met. When we get attached to an outcome, we give away our power. And this is exactly what your enemies can sense. They can sense your need for validation, approval, or success. And that need, it makes you vulnerable. But when you detach, they can't control your reactions. They can't manipulate your emotions. And that, my friend, is terrifying. Take a moment to think about this. What if nothing could bother you anymore? What if no matter what life threw your way, you could remain unshaken, like a rock in the middle of a storm? This is the power of detachment. You stop clinging to things that don't truly matter in the grand scheme of life. The Stoics believed that we should aim to only be attached to the things we can control, our thoughts, our actions, our mindset. Everything else is outside of our reach, so it's pointless to be attached to it. This doesn't mean you stop caring. It doesn't mean you become cold or indifferent. Instead, it means you focus your energy on what truly matters. When you detach from the opinions of others, you stop letting people's words or actions define your self-worth. When you detach from the outcome of every situation, you stop living in fear of failure or rejection. You simply act, and whatever happens, happens. You are not dependent on the results, and that is a position of power. Now, let's talk about how this detachment plays into the way others perceive you. People fear those who are unpredictable. And when you detach from reactions, you become unpredictable. You stop playing into the drama. You stop reacting to insults or criticism. Your silence in the face of provocation is more powerful than any argument you could have. Your enemies will wonder, why aren't they reacting? Why don't they care? And the longer they stay confused, the more they fear you. In a world where everyone is constantly seeking validation, where people are constantly trying to control or manipulate others, detachment becomes a superpower. It makes you untouchable. When you're not emotionally attached to things, you become free. And that freedom is what makes people respect you. It's what makes them fear you. Because when they can't read you, when they can't predict your reactions, they know they can't control you. So, how do you practice detachment? Start small. Practice letting go of small things. Don't get upset when things don't go your way. When someone cuts you off in traffic, don't react. When someone tries to provoke you, stay calm. With time, you'll notice how much more control you have over your own emotions. You'll start to see how others react to your peace and confidence. And soon, your detachment will become your greatest strength. Remember, true power lies not in clinging to things, but in being free from them. Master the art of detachment and you will master your life. And when you do, your enemies will fear you without you saying a word. 6. The silent revenge. Revenge isn't always about getting back at someone with anger or words. In fact, the most powerful revenge is often silent. It's the kind of revenge that makes a person regret ever crossing you without you lifting a finger. Think about it. How many times have you heard someone talk about getting even or getting revenge? But the real question is, what happens when you don't react at all? What happens when you rise above their attempts to drag you down? You see, the Stoics had a unique perspective on revenge. They believed that true strength comes from being in control of your emotions. The more you react, the more power you give away to the people who try to hurt you. But when you choose not to react at all, when you refuse to let anyone dictate your peace, that's when you strike the hardest. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful Stoic philosophers, said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." What does this mean? It means that instead of lowering yourself to someone else's level, you rise above. Instead of wasting your energy on anger or revenge, you focus on becoming a better version of yourself. That's the ultimate form of revenge. You don't need to argue, to shout, or to get even. You simply need to live better than they ever imagined. One of the most powerful ways to make your enemies fear you is to succeed beyond their expectations. Every time they try to bring you down, you rise higher. Every setback they cause you only makes you stronger. And the best part? They see it. They feel it. But they can't stop it. They can't take it from you. And that's terrifying to them. Imagine this: you've been wronged. Someone has tried to sabotage you, spread rumors about you, or disrespected you in some way. Now, you have two choices. You can react, you can fight back, you can try to get even, or you can rise above. You can take a step back, focus on your own growth, and let your success do the talking. That's when you've won. And here's the thing about this silent revenge. It's not about showing off or rubbing your success in anyone's face. It's about you becoming the best version of yourself, without needing validation from anyone. You let your results speak louder than your words. And this leaves your enemies in a position where they can't compete with you. They're left in the dust, while you move forward without even acknowledging their attempts to pull you down. But it doesn't stop there. The next step is to make yourself unreachable. This is a powerful tactic. When someone disrespects you, the best revenge is to become someone they can't touch. Don't give them access to your peace, your time, or your energy. Cut off the negative influences in your life and focus on what truly matters: your growth, your success, your inner peace. You don't need to defend yourself. You don't need to explain your actions. Just keep moving forward. Let your success speak for itself. The more unreachable you become, the more your enemies will fear you. They'll start to wonder, how did they do it? How are they succeeding while we're still stuck? And that question is your silent revenge. Remember, revenge doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to involve confrontation. True revenge is living your life in a way that makes your enemies realize they never really had a chance. 7. When to speak. There are times when silence is your greatest weapon, but there are also moments when speaking becomes just as powerful. Knowing when to speak is a skill that can set you apart from others, especially when your words carry weight. In Stoicism, we learn that every action, including speech, should be deliberate. Speaking without purpose is often a sign of insecurity, a desperate attempt to fill silence or win approval. But when you choose your words carefully and speak with intent, your words take on power. They become a tool, something that can either uplift or dismantle. Think about the people you respect the most. Are they the ones who speak the loudest, or are they the ones who speak with calm authority? And when they do, every word counts. This is what separates the great from the rest. They understand the power of strategic silence. They wait for the right moment to speak, and when they do, it's never wasted. It's as though their words are not just sounds. They carry meaning. They have the ability to shift the energy in a room. If you want to make your enemies fear you, choose when to speak wisely. Don't speak just to fill the silence. Speak because it matters. In moments of conflict, restraint is often more powerful than anything you could say. When others are ranting, becoming emotional, or losing control, your silence can be an unspoken statement of dominance. It shows you're not afraid of being quiet, that you have the confidence to wait, and that you're in control of your emotions. Now, there will be times when speaking is necessary. When the situation calls for it, your words should be powerful and clear. If you speak only when necessary, your words will be taken seriously. They won't be diluted by unnecessary chatter. This makes you someone people pay attention to because they know your words matter. But here's the key. Speak with confidence, but never from a place of ego. When you speak, make sure your words are thoughtful and measured. Don't speak just to win an argument or to prove a point. Speak because you have something valuable to say. You can't afford to waste your words, especially in a world where people often speak just to hear themselves talk. Your words should make an impact, and when you learn how to speak this way, people will listen. Imagine you're in a meeting, and everyone's debating, trying to make their point louder than the next person. The moment someone asks you for your opinion, don't rush. Take a breath. Look around the room. Then, speak slowly and with purpose. Say only what is necessary, but say it with conviction. You'll see the room fall silent. People will pay attention. They will fear that if they don't, they might miss something crucial. The power of speech lies in the fact that it's rare. If you always speak, people begin to ignore you. But if you choose your moments carefully, if you speak only when it matters, people will hang on to your every word. It's in those rare moments that your voice becomes something to be feared. Remember, the Stoics taught that wisdom comes not just from what we know, but from knowing when to speak and when to stay silent. If you master the art of speaking only when needed, and always with purpose, you'll start to see the shift in how people perceive you. And when people begin to fear your silence, they'll fear the power behind your words even more. In the end, remember this. Your silence is a weapon, but your words are a tool. When used correctly, both can help you maintain control, gain respect, and even make your enemies think twice before crossing you. So here's the thing. True power doesn't come from shouting, arguing, or showing off. It comes from being able to stand strong, calm, and composed in any situation. When you master silence, your presence alone can make your enemies second-guess themselves. They won't know what you're thinking, what you'll do next, or how far you're willing to go. And that uncertainty, that fear is your strength. The Stoic philosophers knew this. They didn't need to boast, to fight every battle, or to defend themselves constantly. Instead, they let their actions speak. They controlled their emotions, they stayed calm under pressure, and most importantly, they stayed silent when it mattered most. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. Your silence, your calm, and your unshakable control will send a message much louder than words ever could. So, the next time you face conflict or when your enemies try to provoke you, remember this. It's not about what you say, it's about how you carry yourself. Let your silence do the talking. You have the power to control how others perceive you. Embrace your strength, embrace your silence, and let that fear in your enemies be the proof of your power. Stay strong, stay silent, and remember, your presence speaks louder than words ever will. If you found this video valuable and you're ready to take control of your life and become a silent force of power, don't forget to hit that like button. It helps this message reach more people who need to hear it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time. Join our community, where we dive deeper into Stoic philosophy and life-changing strategies every week. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Leave a comment below and let me know which of these Stoic strategies you're going to start applying today. Let's get a conversation going. I want to hear how you're using these ideas to make your enemies fear you and take control of your life. Remember, power isn't about being loud. It's about being in control. Stay strong, stay silent, and I'll see you in the next video.